Welcome to the Hi5 of Customer Experience, a podcast brought to you by CXMLab.com. It will be a short, sharp and interactive podcast with some of the best minds in the business, and we will take 5 key questions. CXMLab is a platform to express thoughts, ideas and tools that drive customer experience and will enable marketers, CIOs, CTOs and CDOs to think, reflect and make the right choices for their brands and organizations. For more insights, you can log on to CXMLab.com. Today we will be in conversation with Siddharath Bindra, Managing Director of BIBA Apparel, one of India's leading fashion brands. We are going through a cathartic transition in business, life and marketing. How things will unfold, nobody really knows. Retail business, the fashion industry is the most impacted at this point of time. How the story unfolds is for us to wait and watch. But what are the industry leaders thinking about right now? How do they plan to navigate the situation is some of the questions that we will touch upon in our conversation with Siddharth. Welcome Siddharth, great to have you with us today.
Thank you Neeraj, pleasure to be here with you today.
Siddharth, India is actually a very unique and fragmented market compared to say the markets in the world and the US and China. Right from fashion trends to customer behavior to pricing to design and styling to including the supply chain management. Do you see the retail business model changing dramatically post the COVID-19 crisis?
Yes, absolutely Neeraj. I think this is an absolutely black swan event, and this will bring a lot of, this will shake the industry and I think bring a lot of change. For one, I think consumer behaviors, as you mentioned, will change. Consumer behaviors will really depend on the social environment and keep adapting and changing to that. Business models in retail will definitely be up for question, and many of those models will have to change, some minorly, some in a large way. I think business models will need far more capital than they previously had planned for. Retail businesses will have to be better capitalized. I think most people will have to run most profitable stores, if not all profitable stores. And I think profit and market share, the alignment between both will also change. A lot more of the traditional fundamentals, I think, of business will come back into the retail business. And running a profitable business will be very important, I think.
Okay.
And making profits in the current than just something in the future.
Yeah.
Supply chains will also have to dramatically adjust to this. If you look at my category, we have products which have lead times of 4 to 6 months. And today, most people in the fashion industry are ordering 8 to 9 months before the season.
Yeah.
It's going to be extremely difficult to plan so much in advance when such large events can happen.
Yeah.
Of course, minor events also. So I think the whole question of making product 8-10 months before or deciding how much has to be made will have to be questioned. Supply chains will have to dramatically alter the speed that will be required going ahead.
Okay. Siddharth, as business opens up in the green and orange zones, what are the early trends that are emerging? I believe a lot of stores, BIBA stores have opened up, and there would be certain trends that you would be watching, certain patterns that you would be watching which are emerging, which are kind of early signals for things to come.
Yeah, I think we are at least today in a situation where around 160 out of our 290 stores have opened up, which is quite a relief.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing very mixed trends. Difficult to, I would still say, put a predictable model on top of it. But having said that, I think those markets where there is consistency of retail opening and there is low COVID cases, those markets have opened pretty positively. And if I give an example of Bangalore as a market, where stores were allowed to open 6 days a week, and COVID cases were low. We've had a good month of May from what we predicted. We're closer to around 50% of last year. We've also seen a jump up because of the Eid that was there last month.
Yeah.
But simultaneously, when I look at the Chennai market in the south, that's been very challenged. and it's much lower than that. When I look at the markets in the north and the west, these are all markets that are opening on alternate days or different timings, and such challenges are tough because I think even consumers are confused on when the stores are open and when they are closed. So those markets have not responded as positively. But yeah, I think if you ask me an overall sense of it, I think in the month of June, if there is consistency, we are still looking at numbers which are probably in the 35 to 40% mark over last year.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
That would be a good situation.
Yeah, that's quite reassuring that people are coming back, even if the numbers are 50 to 60% of what they were compared to last year. But I think that itself sends a positive signal out from a business point of view, because I've been actually catching up on some of the retail trends globally, and there are a lot of labels which are talking about why should we have kind of 4 sets of fashion lines coming out in a year. We need to prune it down to 1 and 2 and stuff like that. India is a very, very unique market in that context, and say a northern market is very different from a west Mumbai-centric market. How do you see any impacts from design trends in any of these places, or convenience, or the manner in which people shop for, say, festivities or regular wear? Any trends emerging there?
Yeah, I think life will continue, business will continue. I think there will be demand destruction for sure. And in some categories of product higher, in some categories lower. I clearly see a design trend or a product trend of casual and stylish. It's something that will work in the immediate future. Comfort wear, casual, comfortable clothing which is stylish. I think that is something that you can see as a design trend currently in the current model. But of course, you will still see occasion wear selling. It will reduce. It will be more value driven. But yeah, occasions will happen. There will be smaller events. Still, people will buy clothes for those events.
Yeah.
So I think different parts of different categories will have different sense of demand destruction, and new categories will emerge out of the same. I mean, today you have a face mask category. That was not category 2 months back.
Yeah.
So, all those kind of things. Scarves. I mean, scarves are in a lot of demand now.
Yeah.
I think after our Prime Minister was wearing something like a scarf instead of a face mask.
Yeah.
That's a very comfortable option to actually wear.
So, would you be, Siddharth, altering some of your fundamental design philosophies going forward to factor in this change in customer behavior?
Yes, I think the first philosophy is really we'll all have to become very flexible and fast. Because first is, I think, an internal philosophy of really aligning organizations to be very flexible and fast. Change is rapid, it can be dramatic, and one has to be able to deal with it, spot the opportunities, and I think be on time. So yes, I think that's the first change. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, one has to be very, very close to the market.
Yeah.
And spot trends and opportunities that come. I think today BIBA is offering a lot of products that is work from home, stroke stylish, stroke comfortable, and those kind of products. At the end, there is no substitute to great product.
Yeah.
And one has to constantly endeavor to really take out great product that creates demand on its own. But yes, I think, as we were talking earlier also, business models will change. And people will have to factor in lower growth rates in that sense of it.
Correct.
Demand destruction in the category will happen, which people will have to adjust to. And all that will lead to some reductions all across. So while sales will reduce, if demand destruction is happening, then costs also for retail businesses will have to reduce.
Yeah.
And that will have some impact on rents, on landlords, on the whole ecosystem.
Correct.
I think it is an event where the entire retail industry and the ecosystem around it will have to reset once. And I think all stakeholders must realize that fast and be able to reset quickly.
Okay. So in the context of resetting, I think I just wanted to touch upon one of the very important points that a lot of people today are focusing on. How do you integrate online, which is the e-commerce piece of it, with the offline model? And how do you see them coexisting and thriving in the future, Siddharth?
So, Neeraj, I think online and offline will have to coexist and actually have to thrive together. That's really the only way forward. Our own opening up our own website is at 2.5, 3x of what it used to be pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And eventually, online and offline have to just integrate seamlessly.
Yeah.
I think brands and companies have to provide an absolutely seamless integration. I should be able to order on my site. The nearest store should be able to deliver it to me. Today, if BIBA delivers a product to a customer in Chennai, it's 3-4 days. But we are building the platform where if a customer in Chennai orders it today, then I think my store, the nearest store should be, which has inventory, should be able to go and deliver it. So automatically, 3 and 4 days can be reduced to 1 and 2 days.
Yeah.
I think the ask really is to integrate seamlessly and improve customer experience.
Yeah.
As consumer experiences increases, business will also simultaneously increase.
Correct. Now, speaking of consumer experience and customer experience, as a fashion brand, as a label that is very popular, and people wanting to come into stores to experience the brand and develop a kind of loyalty towards the brand over a period of time, how do you see customer experiences in the store in terms of hands-off experiences, in terms of contact experiences, in terms of ensuring that they feel protected in that environment, because this is not going away. This is going to be around for some time, and businesses need to move forward. How do you think that ecosystem will evolve, and how quickly will retail be able to take measures to ensure that customers feel secure to walk into stores?
No, I'm actually quite encouraged. I mean, by what I see, Neeraj, in the industry. I think it's absolutely paramount to make customers feel secure. We have to create a very, very safe and secure environment in our stores. And I see that not just with us, but I see that with all the brands across, and making a lot of effort on that. At BIBA, I think our endeavor really for the first month after opening is to really ensure a very, very safe environment. I think they're following all the protocols that the government is recommending and more. So right from a thermometer checking to sanitization to separately dealing with clothes that are tried, sanitizing them, putting them back, etc., etc. Yes, I think we will all need to evolve contactless experiences in the store. Whether it's trying clothes on digitally, making payments without any touch, and all these kind of things. So these are all things that I think are going to be very important. We as a brand have already started working on many of these things, and I hope in the coming time, we should be able to offer that to the consumer. But having said that, I think a feeling of safety and security is very, very important. And that's what's, I think, going to get customers back into the stores.
Absolutely. So that one last question, which kind of I was thinking about as you were talking, is getting customers back into the stores. Getting customers back is the biggest task for any brand at this point of time. We believe data marketing, data-driven marketing, brand loyalty, which BIBA enjoys for such a long time with such a great standing in the marketplace. What do you think will be the key pillars that will help you claw back in this market and get back to the pinnacle that you have always been at?
I think the right communication. As I said, this is the point where we are talking about a lot of safety and making people feel secure to come back to the store. Product, of course, unique product has to do that. But lastly, I think a consumer today has very limited mind space. limited attention space.
Yeah.
So I think the data analytics of this is extremely critical and important. Each consumer is different, and sending out the right messages to the right consumer is something that's very important. You have to be able to connect with the consumer in one or two messages, or you really lose the opportunity. So we are definitely relying very heavily on data analytics, data science, our loyalty programs, and things like that to really be able to reach out to a consumer and reach out to the consumer with the right message that's important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Siddharth, for your time. Thank you for sharing these invaluable insights. Looking forward to seeing you soon in better times, and looking forward to ensuring that the brands grow, the business grows, and wishing you all the very best. Be safe, and thank you for talking to us.
No, Neeraj, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I also look forward to meeting up in person, hopefully soon. And do take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth.